Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025, and we are back for another episode of Bricks and Beyond, a creator showcase series. For those of you that may be joining for the very first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that highlights members of the LEGO community. Each episode gives you an inside look at the person behind the account. Tonight's guest is joining me from the future. I'm just kidding. He's 13 hours ahead over in the Philippines. He is hands down one of the best mock builders I've ever seen, I've ever come across. You may know him on Instagram as Brick Artisan, but I am here to introduce you to him as Kim. So let me get him in here. Hopefully. There we go.
Hey, hey
Hey,
everyone.
how are you, Kim? How are you?
I'm good. Hey, how are you?
Oh, good, good. I always get so nervous. I think I tell every single person that comes on, I always get nervous when there's that brief moment of time where, like, is this going to connect or is it not going to
Yeah,
connect? So,
the
but
anticipation is very very intense.
yeah, well, because I always get nervous. I worry too much. So, normally I would be on the same time zone as or similar. So, I guess I have to say good morning to you, correct?
And good evening to you.
I appreciate that. So obviously your day just started. So how's your week been going so far? You're already in the Wednesday here.
It's been good. Mostly working at home,
Okay.
laptop, but overall very good.
Good. Now, something I wanted to chat about with you today, because obviously I'm not familiar. Weather. This is something I love talking with people about, especially in different parts of the world. So, first of all, what's the weather like for you today?
Well, it's quite cool. It's never going to be cold here.
Okay.
The best that we can have is like 20 degrees
Okay.
Celsius. Uh, uh, on a hot day could get to 37.
I have to bear with me
Oh
here
yeah,
because I keep telling myself
converting to
I need to
Fahrenheit.
do the conversions here. So that's like,
It's, yeah, it's basically always almost
okay.
hot. You get cool days, but it's very sunny most of the times, and it can get really hot where it's like you can't work outside sometimes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, rub it in because it gets so cold here. You can't work. You can't work outside. It's a problem we both face, but just in different capacities.
True.
So now if I read correctly, because I've never really done a lot of research on the Philippines. First of all, you guys have a lot of amazing stuff. It looks like going on where you're from. Um, but if I'm not mistaken, you have never had snow there. Is that correct?
No, there's gonna never gonna be a chance to have snow here. It's a
Okay.
tropical country. We have tons of beaches and other natural stuff,
Okay.
but never snow.
So then you guys basically only have what, two seasons
Yes,
essentially?
rainy season and then the summer season.
Okay.
Um, yes, a
So
big portion of the year is
okay.
summer.
Okay, so then in that rainy season, you get like a lot of rain, correct?
Yes, on average, I think if I checked before, we have about 21 typhoons a year on
Wow.
average.
Holy cow. Now, to me that sounds devastating, but obviously are all of them devastating or are they on different scales as
Some of
well?
them are normal, like we get used to it by now.
Sure.
Some are a lot more extreme, but it for us it's a normal thing to have those typhoons when
Okay.
that season comes in.
Okay. Now, how far are you from the coast?
Um, Not too far off, but we're in a high place because just on the coast, which is actually a cove,
Okay.
uh, there's sort of like a hill or a mountainous area right above it.
Oh, okay.
So although we are close, we're not actually
Gotcha.
in any. immediate danger.
So I was gonna say you're more so in like a safe zone per se.
Correct.
Well, good, good. I was gonna say because I feel like you have. I mean, everybody has a lot in their homes that they'd have to worry about, but I
Yep.
have a feeling you have maybe a little bit more than other people might have.
Uh, in a way,
Yeah.
yes. Like I wouldn't know what to do if there was something like that would happen.
Yeah, yeah. There's probably not bags big enough to deal with that.
True. That's true.
You need some of those. Do you guys have IKEA by you?
Yes, but not close to our town. But we do have
Okay.
IKEA.
I was just thinking of those massive big blue bags that IKEA has. They're like the reusable bags.
Yes,
There you
yes.
go. Get some of those, dump it all in there, and there you go.
Run for the hills.
All right. So again, for anybody who missed, so it is Wednesday where you are now. So you're one day closer to the weekend. So do you have any big plans for the weekend coming up?
For this weekend, usually just meeting up with friends and families.
Nice. Okay.
Nothing serious, nothing like big, but usually we go and do something on the weekend.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good. Good. It's always nice to get some time, just to kind of step back and appreciate life, which I think it's something that a lot of people they forget to do sometimes. So good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. All right. So obviously, you're a Lego fan, which probably wouldn't be talking to you if you weren't a Lego fan, because this is, Lego Instagram here. So, before we get into the Lego stuff, I'd love for people to get to know you as a person, and then we'll move into the Lego side of things. So, I'm going to shoot a couple things off at you here, and then we'll transition into the Lego stuff. So. Uh, Again, for those who missed, I did mention that you are in the Philippines. Now, you were born and raised in the Philippines, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, where you live now, are you far from where you grew up?
No, actually, I'm in the same town as where
Okay.
I grew up,
Okay.
in a different location from our main house or our original house, but still within that area.
Okay. Now, did you venture out of the city that you lived in at any
Yes.
point?
When I was in uni, I went to the city
Okay.
area, yeah, to do the university stuff, and then
Yep.
a few years back, I also went to the Middle East in Dubai and Abu Dhabi to
Nice.
work for 2 years and 2 months, and
Okay.
then I came back.
Okay. So it's funny. I actually just had a guest on. Was that last Saturday? I think it was last Saturday. He's in Abu Dhabi, and so yeah, he was telling me Legos. Legos not like a big thing over there. Like it's growing, but it's not. But he was also rubbing in how nice the climate is there, and I can swim all year round, and this and so. Would you say the two areas are similar in climate fashion?
Not really, no. Here we have more of a tropical area where we have lots of trees, lots of vegetation, lots of plants. It's
Okay.
very green here.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi has some of those areas, but for the most part, it has the desert. It's very close to Saudi Arabia and the other
Yep.
Middle Eastern countries. So it's more of like a yellowish tan color.
Sure. Yep. Oh well, just like that's the Lego color, right?
Yes,
It looks just like the Lego plates.
yes. We would consider our color like bright green
Okay.
or dark green, and
Yep.
for them it will be tan and bright light yellow.
You know, it's so funny that you said that. I think that'd be really cool to kind of like not world map, but like a map built out of plates or bricks and just use colors and kind of make it out of that. I think that would be something really cool to see, like how the Lego colors kind of lay out over a map. Be interesting. So obviously, so you came back to the Philippines. Did you ever have any interest in staying in the Dubai, Abu Dhabi area, or did you
Well,
always know you were coming back?
at that point where when I left my other job, I was sort of like looking for a time to rest
Okay,
and maybe uh, look for other opportunities.
sure.
But I've always had that idea that if I would be given an opportunity to go back,
Okay.
even if it's another company or with other colleagues. I think I would have considered it,
Okay.
but things sort of changed as the years went
Sure.
on after I.
Now, how travel wise, like how far are the two from each other?
It's about 8.5 hours of flight.
Okay.
There's a 4 hour difference for us. Like we're ahead of them by four
Okay.
hours.
Oh gosh, don't even ask me that math.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a bit of a travel. It's not something that I can go on a quick vacation to and
Yeah.
from
Yep.
the
Gotcha.
Philippines.
All right. So then, so grew up in the Philippines. Now, siblings. Did you have any siblings, or do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do have four other siblings.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
And how? What? So it's you and four others, right? So
yeah,
there's five of you total.
yes. So there's five kids, four brothers, one sister.
Oh
I am
gosh.
the
Okay.
middle.
Okay.
And,
So
yeah.
so you are. I guess to be nice, you're the rose between the thorns, right? To put it.
Yeah, in a way, yes, but it's also like I'm the biggest thorn among
Yeah.
the.
Oh, I understand that. So, so being the middle, did you ever have extra like responsibilities put on you to like look over the younger siblings, either from your parents or your older siblings?
Not really. We sort of like had the our eldest brother usually took responsibility for almost all of us.
Oh,
Most
okay. Yep.
he's the responsible one. That's why the rest of us could be a little less
Sure.
responsible.
Yeah. That's nice to have somebody to take the responsibilities
Yeah.
away. So
Mhm.
now what's the age gap between all of you?
Well, my eldest brother and my sister 1 year.
Okay.
From my sister to me, it's 4,
Okay.
and then from me to my younger brother, 5 and 6 years old.
Okay. So
Six.
nice little range there.
Yes, yes.
Uh, So then, growing up, what? And again, let's just pretend Lego didn't exist.
Mhm.
So growing up, what did you and your siblings like to do for fun? Like, what did you guys enjoy doing together?
Well, we did have games like in the playground, and also when playing out with toys, we had like Power Rangers,
Oh
robots and
yeah,
stuff, uh,
yep,
like Transformers.
sure,
We also had Lego, of course, but yeah, we sort of have different favorites. Like my eldest brother would like more of the cars,
okay,
so as well as my youngest
okay,
brother. But we also played Pokemon and other video games and stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Now, since there was only the one girl in the family, did she try to fit in with the boys, or did she take her own route with things?
She had her own route. She would, of course, when we were a lot younger,
Mm,
she would also play with us. But
sure,
during her teens, she had her own
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But like, yeah, she had her own girl friends
yeah, yeah.
to hang out with. But yeah, she also played a little bit of Lego when we were
Okay.
younger. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So now growing up, so obviously, you guys aren't kids anymore. Are all your siblings, are you guys still relatively close to each other? And I don't mean like personally, but do you all still live near each other or have some moved to different places?
Uh, Two of my siblings are in the city area, and we
Okay.
three of us are here. We still are always keeping in touch with each other.
That's
We
good.
have like a chat, and um, at least once every 2 weeks we'd see each other.
Okay.
The other two siblings that are close to me, we see each other almost every
Oh,
day. The
oh,
other
nice.
two, yeah, not the other two. When we go to the city, we meet up with them or we visit their houses. But
Okay.
it's like, yeah, we can't do it all the time because of work stuff.
Sure. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, everybody's got their own lives and stuff going on. So where you live, and again, you don't have to specifics here, but how far are you considered like in a countryside then? Like how far are you from the city?
Yes, I would consider us in the province or in the countryside.
Okay.
The city where my siblings live would be around 2 to 3 hours of driving.
Okay.
Uh, not that difficult. We
Sure.
can do it like at least if we wanted to, we can even do it once every week.
Okay.
If we have time, it's just like a lot of things happen in a whole week that
Time.
you can't do it
Yes.
every.
There's never enough time. No matter what you do, there's never enough time. I get it completely. All right. So outside of Lego, again, we'll save that for in a bit here. What do you enjoy doing outside of Lego? Either hobbies, interests?
Well, before Lego, I used to sketch.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nothing professional or anything, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
sort of like my hobby before the hobby.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, uh, and I used to play a little bit of piano, but not a lot as well.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and then just listening to music and watching YouTube, I guess, and Netflix or whatever
Good
platform there is
stuff.
for.
Yeah. Now, since you brought up a piano, have you had the opportunity to build the grand piano, the Lego grand piano?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. I, it was at that time when that was released. I was just starting up with the modular series,
Sure.
and I wasn't keen on like expanding it and being too. For me, it was too expensive at the time.
Yeah, yep,
Yes.
yep. I get it. I was just curious. I don't think I've actually talked to somebody that has played the piano who's actually built the piano. So I'm just curious to see like how it translates the build into like an actual piano. So, so if you ever do come across it and build it, make sure you let me know.
Okay. Okay. I will.
All right. So last thing here before we get into some Lego chat, and again, if you can't talk about, that's fine. But what do you do for work? So during the week, what are you doing for work?
Initially, before I got into Lego, I was an engineer. I
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah, I graduated as an engineer, but focused more on oil and gas stuff,
Okay.
project controls or project management in an oil and gas environment.
Okay.
But then right now, it's sort of become a side job where they
Sure.
would sometimes call me to do some work
Okay.
on, but it's now mainly designing Lego modular buildings
Yeah.
and stuff.
Nice.
Mhm.
Well, see, it's interesting. Everything that you've done seems to all tie into what you do. So sketching, that plays a part in the design process.
Yeah.
Engineering, now granted, regardless of the industry that you're working in, engineering itself is all part of that process too. So you've really figured a way to put things you enjoy and do, and you've turned it into something that you really enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
good for you.
It wasn't planned at all, but sort of like the stars
Yeah.
aligned where the different skills ended up working
Sure.
for
Well,
find the thing.
that's good because that's sometimes people struggle with getting to find stuff like that. So if people can get lucky like that, take it and run with it, and don't look back because
Definitely. Yeah.
said you're good at what you do. So keep plugging there. So all right, so let's get into some Lego chat. Excuse me here. So we're gonna get some Lego chat. We're gonna keep it. Obviously, everybody knows what you do. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. So I have a couple things that are gonna try to pick your brain and figure out how we got to where you are now. So we'll start off. So you did mention earlier that one of the things that you did play with as a kid was Lego. Now, when you were little, did you have actual sets, Lego sets, or did you have just like bags of bulk brick that you guys would build with?
Uh, Initially, we bought sets. The first one that I got was like a small car and a little bit of a trailer behind it. It
Okay.
was very small, maybe less than 100 pieces or
Okay.
so. I've lost it by now. I don't
Yeah.
have it
Yeah.
anymore.
Understandable.
But uh, here in the Philippines, we could only buy sets. We never have like
Okay.
bulk pieces. So we play with that, and most of the times then we would disassemble a set and play and build around it and try to
Yep.
do different things with it,
Okay.
which was sort of like a bad thing because we couldn't put it back together
Yeah.
and we ended up losing lots of stuff.
Yeah. I get that.
Yes.
Well, that's part of the building, you know.
Yes, and it helped out in the end where like we learned how to build stuff that are outside of the instructions.
Yeah. Yep. Which obviously plays a part.
Yes.
Uh, so, when do you remember at what point you would have ever had like your first like lot of bulk bricks? I guess you can say that you would have just started building something
I think
like out of imagination.
I think around the age of 7 or 8, we
Okay.
had a good number of sets that we've
Oh, that's
broken up, but
true. Yeah.
not
Okay.
huge. But yeah, that's the time where we could play around and do some stuff with the parts and the sets
Yep.
that we have then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, so you had the Lego as a kid. Now we always talk about as Lego fans, we talk about the Dark Ages. Did you have your Dark Age period, and if so, how long did that last for you?
Yeah, I had it starting high school.
Okay,
My I think my last set was a police station and a small Star Wars set back in high school first year.
okay,
And then after that, I lost interest in Lego.
sure,
And through high school, college, and while working, about maybe 25
okay,
years of dark,
yeah,
yeah, before I got back into Lego last 2020 of January.
okay. All right. So now the stuff that you had as a kid,
Mhm.
what happened to all of that?
They were either lost or given away to younger kids in
Yep.
our
Okay.
town or somewhere.
Yep.
Um, I was able to recover just maybe a handful, like literally you could fit it in my hand, a
Sure.
handful of pieces in our attic, and I just ended up cleaning them and putting them in the city. But like I couldn't even build anything with those extra parts.
You mean with your mind, you're telling me you couldn't even build something that small and then keep it as a commemorative item?
They were just really so random that it's
I
like,
guess.
what am I gonna do with this? I'll just use it as a base for
Yeah.
something.
Now it's just somewhere amongst all the goodness that you have.
Yes.
Well, that's good though. I mean, it's always neat to have something, when you were little, have, bring it back in the past. And it's always neat to me to hear the stories of, I think I've had two people that their parents actually kept all of their childhood Lego in bins with the instructions and
That's so
everything. And they would come home from school and they're like, here you go, here's your childhood Lego. But yeah, most of the time it's they got sold or given away and I get it, but it can be heart-wrenching sometimes.
That's true. Well, none of us expected to go back, I guess.
No,
For
no,
some, they never left, but for others, like myself, I would have never imagined myself going back into Lego.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that you segued perfectly into my next question. So what brought you back? Was it a particular set, or did you see something, just anything that brought you back into the Lego world?
yeah, back in November of 2019, going into Christmas,
Okay,
my nephew received a small Ninjago set gift, and my
okay,
sister told me to build it or asked me to build it for him because he couldn't do it
okay,
himself. It's very small by then.
sure,
And when I built that one, I thought, okay, so this is how Lego is now compared to what it was years then. It was a small set, but the details that they had was like, oh, it surprised me. It intrigued me.
yeah, yep,
So I started back in December looking into what other models or sets Lego has.
okay,
Then, as that was happening, they announced the 2020 modular, which was the bookshop.
Yep. Okay.
And then I started looking into YouTube for whatever other sets and buildings and whatnot that were related to the modular series, and
Okay.
that's where like, okay, so I might try to buy this one. Let's see what happens.
This sounds like a familiar story that I had a few years ago. It's always the modulars, you
Yeah.
know. You find one, and then you don't realize how many there are, and then that rabbit hole, man, you just get sucked down that rabbit hole.
Uh, it's very, very quick. It's like that the contagious part of it where it's like, oh, I need more. I want to see more. Like, oh, it's too much.
Oh, that's hilarious. So then you obviously you bought the bookshop then, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. A few weeks after it was released, I went into the Lego store for the first time in 25 years, 30 years.
Yep. Okay.
And I bought that. And I was really also at the time very conscious about it,
Sure.
in a way where I'm a, for me, I would consider myself a frugal
Okay.
person. I would not buy anything unless I needed it or I
Okay.
really wanted it.
Okay.
So for me, the price of the modular bookshop by then was like, should I really buy this? Is it really worth it for me to buy a toy at this age with this kind of price? And now it doesn't even compare to the prices that we have
Oh
today.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, look at you being rational. I mean, yeah, you didn't jump in. You kind of thought about it, and obviously your thinking didn't work probably as you had hoped it would.
Um, my reasoning for getting it was that I never buy anything that I don't like at all, or
Sure.
like I have 50% uh, in and 50% like I don't want it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
For to buy something, it means that I really liked it, and I am sort of like gifting myself something
Sure.
or rewarding myself for not spending anything for other stuff that I won't probably use or need.
Sure. Yep. All right. So then, when you got the bookshop, did you have at that point? So let's just keep it at that point in time. Did you have any thoughts or ideas at that point of, oh, I could do this way, or I could do this way, or you just literally built the set at that point?
I built it as I would with the instructions,
Okay.
but as I was building it, I was thinking, oh, maybe I could add something to it. But at that time, it was like it's more of like just small improvements on
Yeah.
the modular itself,
Okay.
but nothing too serious where I'm altering it.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you mentioned the modulars. Now, as far as sets go, do you have any other themes that you tend to find yourself gravitating towards? Any like ideas or icons, anything to that extent, other
Yes,
than modulars?
of course, Ninjago.
Okay. Yep.
But in a way, Ninjago only for the modular
Okay.
series they have,
Yep.
and also the Winter Village sets.
Okay.
Uh, the idea sets, of course, especially when it's something really unique like the tree house and the
Sure.
A-frame cabin.
Yep.
Still gravitating towards buildings more than,
Yep.
like, say, robots or spaceships.
Yep. I was gonna say I even though you're telling me things, I'm still sensing a theme.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat as you. It's when you find something you really enjoy, there's really no reason to go away from it. And then it's funny how you do kind of find that those similar styles kind of bleed into other themes. Like you said, Ninjago has their modular styles, and then the ideas has their styles. So yeah, you found your niche and you rolled with it, which is good because it keeps you on track, and then you're not veering too far off the path.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me as well. Like, sometimes I would get interested in looking at the Star Wars sets, but then I would think to myself, well, where am I going to put it? How am I going to incorporate it?
Yep.
So I'll just look at them from afar and not actually venture into
Yeah.
that other rabbit hole.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Good for you. All right. So then, as far as themes that, and again, let's look at it from a different perspective. So themes that you would stay away from, not because they're not modulars, but because the builds themselves don't really interest you. If that does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't go to it
Yes,
because you don't like the style of it.
yes. It's not more of the style, but also the fun factor of it.
Mhm.
Technique sets. I like how they look at the final
Sure.
uh, build, but as I build them, I've tried a few technique sets for vehicles,
Okay.
and all throughout that, I did not enjoy myself. I did not have fun building it.
Sure.
It's like, let's get it over it. Come on, final page. Let's get it done. It's yeah, it's fun to, and nice to look at in the end,
I
but
agree.
all throughout that it was just like
Yeah.
painstaking.
So it's safe to assume that we can never expect a Technic mock from you.
Yes, 99%. Even then, like I wish I had that knowledge and that skill like the others would have when it
Sure.
comes to building techniques.
Yeah.
It's like you'd like to have a different range in knowing different techniques, but it's just like I don't want to go into that knowing for a fact that it becomes tedious when it comes
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah. Yeah. And for really for what you're doing, I don't really think is there even a way to incorporate? I mean, I guess there are some ways to incorporate Technic, but um, I don't know. I mean,
Not that it would affect the whole design aspect of modular buildings. It could enhance it,
yeah,
but never sort of replace it in a way.
yeah, yep, exactly. All right, so going back to something we talked about earlier. So we mentioned that you did have four siblings,
Mhm.
and that you guys did have some Lego. So when you guys were growing up, did you guys with the age gap, did you ever play as a whole, the five of you with Lego, or was it just maybe two of you here, two of you there?
At first, when there were three of us before the other younger siblings were born, we all three of us would play along with our
Oh,
cousins
nice.
and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, and then as the other two grew older, it became a little bit more of me and the other two
Okay.
siblings to the point where I sort of like stepped out of playing
Yep.
Lego, and the other two were left.
Okay. So you, yeah, well, that's kind of cool though. You got to kind of experience from two different ways, some with your older siblings and then with the younger siblings too. Uh, now, do you guys remember, or do you remember like what you guys, was there anything in particular that you would try to build? Like when you took the sets apart and had like the bulk, did you ever try to build like cities or anything in particular?
Just small houses and
Okay.
stuff. I remember we tried to replicate our own
Oh,
house with sort of
nice.
different colored bricks. It was very, it didn't look right.
Sure.
Let's just say that.
But
And
you
then
tried.
yes, and then there was a time where we tried building restaurants with small bricks where the cafe was downstairs and then there's the stairs that lead up to the house. But
Okay.
it's very small scale,
Sure.
just for fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's hey, at that point, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Having fun with it. So, um, all right. So before we get into your mock building here, I just have one curious question that relates to family. So,
Sure.
obviously, I'm assuming your family knows what you do because you have a nice display behind you. So, is your family still your siblings? I know you mentioned some of your nieces, nephews have Lego sets as well.
Mhm.
Um, but what do they think of the whole picture in general, like everything that you do?
Yes, they're fully supportive
Good.
on it, 100%. Even as I was just starting with the first modular building and then the second and the third,
Mhm.
when I had a small collection in our house, um, they were very supportive of that. Because they knew that I wouldn't buy anything that I didn't like. They
Yeah,
were just
sure.
sometimes they would push me like, you have to buy something for yourself, do something for yourself, and I was like, no, I don't really need that. But when they saw that I was really into it, they said,
Okay.
okay, yeah, you deserve that. You go for it. And at that time, It was during the pandemic.
Okay.
So my nephew and niece were at the same house that I was in. We were sort
Okay.
of like stuck with each other for a few
Okay.
months at least. And the kids started to be able to play with Lego.
Okay.
And once every 2 or 3 nights, they would have a playtime with whatever set I had then, and they could
Nice.
see that
Nice.
the kids are learning something.
Sure.
They have motor skills. They're looking at things and they're not trying to destroy
Yeah.
them. So for my siblings and my parents, they see it as not just for me but also for the kids, and
Good.
that's why they were fully supportive of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, that's I think that's something that I know the price can be hard to swallow for people nowadays because this stuff is expensive and it can make it difficult for families, especially that have more than one child. But when you look at the big picture, when you can get the kids off the screens
Yeah,
and you have them using their hands, using their minds, imaginations, it's priceless. Um,
yeah,
and that is the one thing that I'm on this like destruction path here where I think Lego needs more bulk sets, just brick sets.
mm,
Get rid of the instructions. Let the kids build.
yeah,
I know we have some of those sets, but you're going to be the perfect person to answer that question. That when you get bricks, I mean, it's endless. You can do whatever you want essentially. So
yeah. Right now, the with the Lego sets that are being released, they're very specific to a certain look.
yes,
Unlike like I understand you have the Creator 3-in-1
yeah,
series and the sets that are you can exchange or rebuild into something else.
hmm,
But for the most part, if someone is not keen into doing alternate designs or destroying and rebuilding it into something else, they would be able to imagine stuff because it's very specific
yes,
to a certain
yep,
degree.
yep.
Yeah.
And then the other problem that I always say with the classic sets is there's too much. My mom came up with this term. She calls it bric-a-brac. There's too much like flowers and one by ones, and like
Yes.
you can't build with that. And so and again, I know this is going to make it expensive because when you have bigger bricks, drives the price up. But that's what we need. We need sets that can give kids the ability just to use their imaginations and build. How you accomplish that in a fair price range, I don't know.
That's very difficult.
Yeah.
That's a problem that would take a lot of people to be able to to even
Yes.
imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot higher pay grades than mine. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But maybe
So.
that's the problem. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
problem. In trying to solve the problem, you have to create more jobs that need to solve that, and then your overhead adds up.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Well, hey, if you think of something, let me know. We'll figure out a way to make it work. So.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's get into this mock building of yours because I hear you're pretty decent at mock building. So yeah,
Sometimes.
well, we're gonna dig into this here because obviously you are a very well known household name in the mock building world. I probably don't go a day without seeing a brick artisan design coming out, and I love them. I mean, it's incredible what you do. It seriously is. Like I'm new into the mock building world. I've seen some of my friends on here mock build. A lot of them do use your designs as well, and you could
Thank
fool
you.
me. Some of the not some the sets that you make, if nobody knew, they would think they're Lego sets. I mean, they just look maybe even better than some Lego sets. So, um, so I want to kind of pick your brain before we talk about actual sets. I want to kind of get how your mind works. So, can you just kind of give me an idea or an overview of how you really got into the whole mock building world? Like, what really started this for you?
For me here, it's because we have limited resources when it comes to buying um, bulk pieces
Okay.
from like Bricklink or other online shops, especially during the pandemic. It's not more of just the reasons of money where you don't have it. It's not like
Mhm.
that. It's more of just like our country is separated from other countries with the sea all
Sure.
throughout.
Yep.
We're separated. So buying something overseas costs a lot
Yeah.
when it comes to shipping, unlike, for
Yep.
example, in Europe or in the US. So for me, uh, my idea was that what if I just buy another set of a specific set that I've already built
Okay.
and try to build something out of it to expand because I wanted to expand my city without going over budget.
Sure.
I wanted it to be where if I can buy this set, I can build something else out of it,
Okay.
or just add a few more pieces, or mix it up with other sets and expand the town or the city that I'm building at that time.
Okay.
So that's where I started coming in into mock building and trying to create other buildings out of specific
Okay.
sets.
Okay. So you basically took the situation that you were in and you decided how to make it better,
Hmm.
and you accomplished that. So, um, can you just like give me an overview on when you get an idea in your mind?
Hmm.
How long does it take you from beginning, so design phase, to getting all the pieces you need, which I'm sure is not always easy, and then to getting the final product? Like what does that time frame look like?
Oh, um, at first it took like weeks.
Okay.
Like for a simple project, I'd have to look at it and I have to build it first before I could even design it on Studio.
Yep.
So I think of a design in my head, try to play around with the parts in a set,
Okay.
build, trial build, and then disassemble, try again. Sometimes it used to take weeks before, but
Okay.
now uh, I do it the other way around where I do it digitally first and then
Oh, okay.
trial build it when I can, and
Okay.
then sort of like release the instructions afterwards.
Okay.
Um, for that time span, when it's like a half modular building, sometimes it's a week, less than a week. If
Okay.
it's a bit, if the design is a bit simpler or just like an enhancement of what Lego has already
Mhm.
released. But if it's totally changing the facade, totally changing the structure of the building, it can take the design for a week or two, and
Okay.
then the trial build, if I can do it, maybe 2 days,
Okay.
and then it's done.
So, when you now everything that when you change it now, where you do studio first, is
Hmm.
everything like? Do you always design with the plan to build it, or do you have stuff in studio that you have not built yet?
There are at least half that I've designed, more than half that I've not been able to build myself,
Okay.
uh, mainly because I have, for example, multiple designs for a certain set.
Sure.
So I choose one.
Okay.
Other reasons as well, like um, I like the design, but it doesn't fit my city,
Yeah.
where I know that it's for other people's interests.
Sure.
So there's a mixture of that. But for the ones that I'm really interested in, I build it myself and put it in my city. And for
Okay.
the ones that are like they're nice to look at, but I don't really see it being added to my city, I have those as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, now, what? So, do you remember what was the first mock? And again, just going in with this because might be people joining for the first time who
Yes.
haven't come across you. I doubt it, but just in case, what was what was the very first mock that you came up with and actually shared with everybody?
That as a design
Yeah,
or yeah. Uh,
yeah.
uh,
Let's go both. So, what was an actual just a design, and then one that you actually built and put in your city?
Yes. For the one that's for the design that I also built for myself, but I published it as something that people can build for themselves. Is the modular version of Privet Drive. So
Okay. Yep. And
all
I believe I that was your first video on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yes, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Um,
for me that was like my sort of like experiment into dabbling into designing and seeing how studio
yep.
works. And but I built it first before I was able to release the design because I was just learning at that time how things were.
Sure.
Um, but it's not like the first mock that I have in my city
Okay.
now. I've done modifications on the bookshop, on the corner garage, small modifications here and there.
Okay.
Um, the one that has lasted out up to now, I think, is a small chapel
Okay.
um, that is part of my city, and it was built back in 2020. And it's just like a small set that I turned into a chapel.
Okay. Now, the next video. So I was curious. I was looking at the YouTube, and I like I said, I did see the Harry Potter one. Now,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, you had a pretty big set, which would have been your second video on YouTube.
Mm.
Would you like to discuss? Would you like to discuss this massive beauty of yours?
I have to double check which one that one
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I was testing you there. So it should be the Sit Complex, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's because I've done a lot of designs, but I only started my YouTube videos years after
Yeah.
I've been doing. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
Yeah. No, I see. I was just testing you there.
Yeah, the sit complex. The one that I wasn't planning on or thinking that would um, make it big for everyone else. Like I when I built it, it was mainly for myself.
Okay.
I never expected it to sell or to be as popular as it is now.
Sure.
Um, at that time, I had like two small sets of the Central Perk,
Okay.
and then they released the Friends theme apartment,
Yep.
and I thought I wanted it to be in just one building,
Okay.
and even if I don't end up selling anything out of it for the instructions, I wanted to build it for myself, and I put in a lot of details, uh, and I think that's what translated
Okay.
into people liking it. It's just because it it's cliche, but you would normally hear this. It's made out of love,
Sure. Yeah.
out of
Yep.
passion.
Yep.
And it wasn't just like I'm building this to make money. I'm building this to sell.
Sure.
This one was just like labor of love.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say from your early? Let's try to keep things separated because I don't want to ask you to pick just one favorite. So we'll start in your early days of mock building. What would you say maybe a couple of your favorite mocks would be, and do you have them near you or by you that you can show by any chance?
Yes. I in my early days I did like my town square pub, which was the alternate design of the assembly square.
Okay. Yep.
Uh, and then a little bit later at the time, or like the latest one, I think one is the Birch Bank.
Oh
The
yeah,
Birch
yeah.
the curved corner building.
Yep.
I have lots of other nice ones. For the smaller sets, I like the classic townhouse and the cozier home side by side,
Yep.
which
Okay.
were from the Creator 3-in-1 series.
Now, are those in your city that you have now?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Most of the modulars, especially for the official modular sets that I've done alternate, they are here in the city.
Okay.
And then yeah, especially the Town Square Pub and the Birch Bank.
Okay. So now you've brought up this city. So I know I've seen pictures of it. Has there been just one city, or do you kind of have like a revolving door of a city where you're constantly changing things based off of what you're building?
Yeah, initially, it was mainly just one, but then I've now designed it where I could swap modulars around and change it
Okay.
whenever I want to. I depending on like a new design that I've released or I've built, I might rearrange the modulars where it features more on the newer mocks, and
Okay.
then the official sets are a little bit on the sides.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So how many in your city, roughly how many buildings could you fit, and how many do you have currently?
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rough,
Uh,
roughly,
this,
just rough
yes,
estimates.
yes. I if I would be able to count, maybe I have about 30 or 40 modular buildings.
Okay.
Not counting the different other structures like I have here in the Ninjago area, and I have the fair, like the Disneyland area where you have those different small rides.
Yep. Okay.
But if I'm just counting the modulars
Okay.
themselves, probably uh, 30 or 40.
Okay.
And if I'm going to fill up the whole tables, including the second layer at the bottom, oh, it could probably fit maybe more than 150 to 200.
Wow. Holy cow. Okay.
But
Whew.
yeah,
Okay.
that's like a long-term project that I have
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
here.
Yep.
Here.
Yep. No, I get it. Now, just out of curiosity, would it be too much to ask you to give us a little tour? Would that be something that would be
I don't mind at all.
awesome? Yeah. If you don't mind, I think everybody would love to see what you got going on here.
Okay. Just I would have to ask for you to be kind because there are some areas that are still a mess.
Oh, hey, God, trust me. If you don't have a mess, then I don't know. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh, this is beautiful.
this is the modular Ninjago area separated by the
Wow,
sea.
holy cow.
And then we have here the beach area where you have the diner and the modern house and all sorts of um, beach stuff.
Yep. Now, if you don't mind, if I stop you real
Yeah,
quick.
of course.
So again, you do have mixtures of Lego, actual Lego builds
Mm-hmm.
in with your mocks, correct? Okay.
Yes. So these two are mocks, and then you have here the diner, and
Yep.
this one is
Okay.
a modification,
Is that
and,
a bowling
and
alley?
it is
Why have I not
here.
seen that one before?
I this one I have two versions of this. This one is just like a mirror version of the diner.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't seen that. Okay, I'll have to look for that.
This one is I don't think I've created instructions for this one because I
Okay,
basically mirror built it
I
and then
gotcha.
added the
Okay,
bowl.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And then here we have the sort of like theme park area.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you did the flowers on the Disney castle.
Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
think it was worth it to
amazing.
add. Yes. And then we have here sort of like an old town area
Oh, look at
where it's more of
that.
the
Oh, that's
medieval
awesome.
sets.
Yeah. Wow,
Mhm.
that Tudor corner really fits in with all those buildings there.
Yeah. I was initially planning on putting it in the city, but when I placed it beside the other medieval themed houses and buildings, I thought, yeah, that's the perfect place for it.
That's incredible. Yep.
Yeah. So this one is another set of tables. Uh, and in this area, we have the canal or the riverside.
Oh wow, look at this. Holy cow. This is impressive.
Yeah. It's coming from the mountains up there. So ideally, you'd have the river, which isn't complete yet. I have to put more river on this side to pass through here and then pass through here and then go to
Okay.
the sea. So
Oh
that's
wow.
the whole idea of the
Oh,
city.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, these are the different residential houses just behind or in front of the university and the school and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Then you have the sit complex and the
Yep.
sitcom suites.
Yep. There they
Then
are.
you have the up house in
Oh, that's so
between.
cool. Right in between.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
So
incredible.
I just yeah.
My jaws just dropped.
Yeah, it's taken me a lot of time to set up something like this, and a lot of sleepless nights thinking about what to add to it.
Isn't that funny how something like, like this should not be like stressful on us, but we do feel that stress to like make it perfect. I mean, this is just this
Yes.
incredible.
Uh,
And like
I
the stuff's not just set places. Like you do have it. There's even vehicles, there's
mhm.
stories going on here. I mean, you just have everything set like how it should be.
Yeah. Well, as also because I wanted it to be interactive with the friends and family members that are visiting.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
made the tables into a U shape instead of the usual idea that you'd have a one big rectangle where you have like a hole in the middle where the builder
Yeah.
can stand.
Yep.
I've made it accessible so people can have the chance to play with it, touch it, do stuff with the minifigures, and add different scenes to it.
Oh my
So
gosh, this is incredible.
yeah, and then the bottom table is still also uh, something that could be
Yep.
used for other designs later on. But
Wow.
yeah, this is the city as is right now.
So which one is the tallest building? I,
Well, I have the Avengers
yeah,
Tower,
yeah, okay. Yep.
which I had the base added into. It's just
Oh, the
walk into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep.
So as you can see, even at the back, you could still walk and see
Oh my
there.
gosh. Look at that. Jeez, this is incredible. I feel like a
Thank
kid in a candy store over here.
you.
Man,
It is.
I wish I lived close to you because I'd pay admission to come here.
Well, maybe in the future that's our plan. Like, if this ends up being something where it could be, I don't know, a local tourist attraction,
Yeah,
why not?
yeah. Well, hey, don't forget us little guys when you're off and
Oh, I won't. But I don't think it'll ever come to being such a big thing. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to plan ahead.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is truly incredible. I applaud you for not only your building techniques, your skills, but your city design. I mean, it just everything flows seamlessly. It all looks like nothing looks out of place. Um,
Mhm.
it's incredible, absolutely
Thank
incredible.
you. Thank you.
I truly, I appreciate you giving us this tour too. It's like a behind the scenes look into, uh, and for anybody who ever wonders, like I doubt it, but like you practice what you preach. Like this is the stuff you make, and it is in your city, so it's not like you're
Yes.
just making it, for giggles. Like it's what you enjoy, and you have it in your own collection.
Yeah, I get like for me, if I had the chance and the time to build all of the designs, I would do it myself. But
Okay.
I have to consider as well. Like I can't build all the 10 Friends themed modular buildings that I designed because I have
Yeah.
to be choosy right now,
Yep.
especially also with the not just with the price, but with just like the space. And we all know that Lego keeps on releasing
Oh yeah.
more sets,
Yep.
so there will come a point where this will all get filled up. So I have to be a bit more uh, stringent with my requirements on what goes into the city and
Yeah.
what does.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely. Well, hey, I know if Lego ever comes out with a cloning program, I know who we're coming after first.
Oh, oh
We
my
need
gosh.
Lego design clone or something here, because man, the stuff that you come up with, I mean, gosh, this stuff would fly off the shelves. I mean, you wanna know how to sell out a shelf on day one. You put some of your stuff up there, and I don't see how it
Uh,
wouldn't. Really don't.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you probably get tired of hearing how good stuff is, but it's hard not to compliment somebody. I mean, you deserve the credit that you get. I mean, like I said, this not only the builds but the scenes you come up with and how everything seems to flow together is just it's just incredible.
Thank you. I think it's really just like the passion that comes into it. Uh, we exert more effort if we like what we're doing.
I agree. And you used my favorite word. It's a passion. That's what
Mhm.
Lego is. It's a passion.
It is because we can't use the other word. The other word is addiction. So
Wait a second. Have you heard me say that?
no.
You haven't heard? Oh my gosh, yeah, because that's something I'm preaching here is trying to get people to stop using the word addiction, and I'm trying to get it over the
Yeah.
passion. See, look at you. You
Yes.
and I are on the same wavelengths here. Try,
Yeah.
I have some big ideas in mind, and since you said that, I will share those with you at a later point here because I
Hmm.
think I could use you as a not use you, not I could
I understand
borrow
what you're
I could
saying.
borrow your mind.
Mhm. Uh, if it makes you well, passion makes you improve yourself. Addiction is not,
Yeah.
in a way it doesn't.
Yep.
So Lego makes us become better. So it's a passion.
I 1,000% agree. So I am 1,000% happy that you said that, and you have not heard me say that before because you and I are on the same wavelengths
Yes.
there. So well, this is great. I mean, I truly appreciate this tour. I'm sure everybody else is appreciative of what they are getting to see tonight
Thank
because
you.
you you will
Yeah.
not see much like this.
Yeah, I'm also like sometimes I would just be standing here for an hour or so looking at it. I'm not doing anything at all. Just like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to take it in and just appreciate it and relax.
yeah. Well, you know what? That's the thing too. When you make up when you can make up stories, isn't it kind of funny how you can just look at things sometimes and like even if you just shut your eyes for a minute, like you can actually like envision the stories playing out in your mind that you set up.
Yes.
It's really neat to think about.
Yeah, and for me, that's a lot better than just watching YouTube videos or um, TV series and
Yep.
movies. Like for me, it focuses on your imagination, your creativity, and just like I think that's a lot better than most things that we would do
Oh,
while
yeah.
relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you fully there. Well, if anybody ever questions your imagination, you send them to me because I'll set them straight for you. Now, do you have any plans on any events this year or any conventions that you'll be attending or taking any of your stuff with you?
um, we usually have small events here in the city.
Okay.
I've joined in one of them before back in like
Okay.
2023, a Lego convention, but it's not as big as you would have in the US or in Europe. So it's sort of like a just a small community of hobbyists.
Okay.
But if there is one big one that would be coming around March or April,
Okay.
I would like to join that. They just haven't announced it yet.
Oh, okay. Now, where would that be?
Also, unfortunately, also just here in the Philippines.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yep.
But nothing overseas so far.
Okay. Well, hey, if you ever want to venture to the U.S., I'm heading to Brickworld for my first time ever, so I can
Ah,
let you know how that is.
okay.
And if you're interested, let's try to get you there next year.
We'll see. I have to sort out
2026
my
goals.
yes, yes. I do want to visit other really big Lego conventions in the US as well as in Europe. And if there's any possibility to do that next year, I'll definitely look into it
All right. Well, we're gonna keep that on the calendar here. I'm gonna make sure I check in with you by the end of the year to see what your plans are for 2026.
for sure. For sure.
So before we wrap up, Is
Mhm.
there anything that you have that you want to share with anybody else? Anything that I didn't go over, or anything else that I missed?
Well, um, I recently just released also this two-door and apothecary mock,
I just saw
which
that
is
today. Yep, I
yes,
was looking. I forgot to mention that.
no, don't worry. This one is just the alternate design of the two-door corner. I looked into small details, and I remember that two-door is also a company name for a watch.
Okay. Yep.
So that's
Look
it.
at you.
That's
Look at that.
I considered that one as a watch shop two door,
That is
and then
awesome.
the apothecary is on this side.
That's when I first saw that the blue and the white,
Hmm.
I kind of started getting Market Street vibes in my mind.
Yes, I
And
understand. Yeah.
yeah, yep. And then I mean, obviously it doesn't look like Market Street, but that's like when I saw the colors, I was
Hmm.
like, oh, that's giving me. And I not, not to be mean to Lego, but I would take this look over the Market Street.
I understand, but also we do have to consider that Market Street came out
Yes, that's
2007,
yeah, that's
so
fair. Yep, yep, that's fair. Yeah, so I okay, we won't compare them. So
yeah, the number of parts and the availability that they had back then was just a lot more limited than they are
yeah,
now.
yeah, well, yeah, you had a couple years to kind of make things a little bit upgraded.
True.
Well, Kim, I seriously, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day. Again, for everybody that missed the beginning, this is morning over in the Philippines.
Yes.
So Kim has taken time out of his day to join me tonight on my side. So I really appreciate that. The tour, really appreciate that. Amazing stuff. Again, I'm thankful that I've cross paths with somebody who we haven't really gotten to interact much, but you share the passion with me, so that's fantastic. And I look forward. I hope in the at the end of the or maybe end of the year here, sometime July, August, September, we can touch base again, and I can check in with you, see how you've been doing, see what's new
Sure.
in your world.
Yeah, I appreciate this call and this video as well.
For sure.
And I like
Yeah.
being able to communicate and chat with other hobbyists, especially when it comes to just enjoying the
Yep.
Lego hobby
Yep.
and not worrying about getting judged
Yeah. Yeah.
for for,
Yep.
for the choices that we make with our
Yep.
hobby.
No, I hear you for sure. Well, so again, this I will post this up, the recording of this. So if you guys missed anything from earlier on, you can go back and watch it. Or if you're just joining now and you missed everything, you can go back and watch that the entire episode. We talked about a lot. We got to see a lot, so definitely rewatch. Make sure you're following Kim on Instagram, obviously here. And then the only other social you're on is YouTube, correct? Or do you have any other
Yeah.
channels?
Uh, I only have YouTube. Sometimes I would go on Facebook, but it's
Okay.
just like my normal account.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're just YouTube, which is also just Brick Artisan, correct?
Right.
Okay. So
Yes.
Brick Artisan on YouTube. And then obviously it's Brick underscore Artisan 19. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. That's what I thought. So make sure you're following Kim. Amazing person,
Thank you.
amazing builder. I appreciate you joining me tonight. I appreciate everybody else joining us tonight. And I look forward to talking to you down the line here.
Okay. Thank you
All
for
right.
everyone who watched,
Well,
and
hey,
thank you for having me today.
for sure. All right. Well, hey, have a good rest of the day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Have a great rest.
All right.
For
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need it. Thanks, Kim. All right. We'll
okay.
see you guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.